Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a new video. Today's video is going to be about Master Clue Scrolls. Now, I know I pretty much never make videos about updates as they come out in Oldschool Runescape, but I am really excited about these Master Clue Scrolls. It's a huge update to the game, and obviously, as most of you know, my channel started growing when I got 3rd Age. Some may say that 3rd Age plate legs made me, so I'm a big fan of Clue Scrolls, to say the least, so I'm very, very excited for this update. Bit of a spoiler alert, I guess. I have completed a Master Clue Scroll. However, I won't be showing the reward or anything in this video. I'm going to save that for my upcoming progress video. But in today's video, I just want to talk about the update as a whole and kind of show you guys some things that I've learned about the Clue Scrolls in the short amount of time that they've been out. So, right off the bat, the first thing you quickly realize about Master Clue Scrolls is that they definitely earn their name in terms of requirements. I'll probably put something on the screen real quick, because I'm not going to talk about every single requirement, but there are some ridiculous requirements for these Clue Scrolls. I mean, just the first one alone. 75 attack, required to wield the God Sword. For an Iron Man account, that is going to be tough, because I mean, it's going to be a clue that I literally cannot do until I get a hilt drop. So, right off the bat, these requirements are ridiculous. I don't even think I have very many of these requirements on my main, let alone my Iron Man. So, they obviously earn their name. The requirements are ridiculous. However, the rewards are also amazing. I'm going to put another thing on screen most likely. There are lots of new ornament kits. There's a Dragon Defender ornament kit, which I think is really ugly, but that's just me. Another cool thing is the God Sword ornament kits, and I'll try and find a picture to put on screen, but I think the one I saw earlier was the Zamorak one, and the way I can describe it to you is like the God Sword, right after the part, like the handle, you know how there's like that flashy little blade part that sticks out? That is recolored, and it looks super nice. Another really cool one is the 3rd Age tools. Now, the 3rd Age tools are tied for best in slot. The 3rd Age axe and the pickaxe have the same stats as the dragon pickaxe and axe. However, now that you can add a smoldering stone to the dragon axe and pickaxe, they probably still aren't better technically because you can make the inferno stuff with the smoldering stone. But other than that, everything else is purely cosmetic. There's a new pet called the Bloodhound, which I think is awesome and adorable. But everything else is more or less all cosmetic, and there definitely is some cool stuff. Now, right off the bat, I told you the requirements for these Clue Scrolls, and it is ridiculous. That being said, the requirements are not the only difficult part about a Master Clue Scroll. In order to get a Master Clue, you need to hand in one of every kind of Clue Scroll to Watson and Zaya. So that means you need to have an easy, medium, hard, and an elite Clue Scroll, and you have to give them to him all, and then he'll give you a Master Clue Scroll. Now, there is actually other ways to obtain it other than that. You actually can get a Master Clue as a reward from a Clue Scroll. So say I'm doing Slayer, and I get a hard Clue Scroll. I actually can get a Master Clue as a reward from that clue, which is pretty crazy. I'm going to assume it's very, very rare, but I've heard of a few people getting it, so like I said, you can either get one from another clue, or you have to hand in one of every kind of clue in order to get one. Now, of course, because it is a new kind of Clue Scroll, they also added in a bunch of new kinds of clues that you might have to complete while doing the Master Clue. It's kind of like when they added Elite Clue Scrolls to the game. They introduced the Sherlock clues, which is a totally new thing. Well, in the Master Clues, you can get Sherlock clues, anagrams, which is like when they scramble up names, puzzle boxes. Now, there are a couple of new puzzle boxes as well. The only one I've seen so far is Zulrah, but I'm sure there's lots more of those. Of course, there are coordinate clues and emote clues, which we all know what those are. And then the new ones that have been added are Phalo the Bard. Now, Phalo the Bard, and I'll probably show you where he's at right now, he is located north of Sears Village. You talk to him, and he gives you a riddle based on what item you have to give him. Like when I was doing my Master Clue Scroll, for example, I might have the clip to show you, but he said something to the effect of you have to kill a dragon and then you can put this on your chest, which is a rune plate body, you know. So it's actually kind of straightforward, some of them, but okay, so the next new thing is called Hot/Cold. So you go to talk to Joral or Jorel, who is he's from a quest. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Making History. He gives you this little orb, And when you click on this orb, it's going to tell you how warm or cold you are. So the way I did this, and what I would recommend, is to have teleport runes to every city in RuneScape, and I usually start in, like, say, Varrock. So you teleport to Varrock and click on the orb, and it's going to tell you whether you're warm or cold. Regardless of what it says, teleport to a different city and see if it gets warmer. So what I mean is say I'm in Varrock, right, and it tells me that the orb is cold. I then teleport to Falador, and it tells me that the orb is warmer. That means that it has to be to the west of Varrock. I hope that makes sense. It's really straightforward in my mind, but I'm trying to explain it like, just teleport around to different cities, and if it's getting warmer, you know you're going the right direction on the world map. And then lastly, we have the light puzzle box, which I don't think anyone really knows the exact fastest way to do this. However, and I'm going to cite Woox for this. I'm sure you all know who Woox is. Woox actually discovered this because he's a fucking genius. There is a way that no matter how the puzzle box looks, you can force it to work. And I can copy and paste it or whatever it is, but essentially what I read on it is that you press A and then a different letter and you just alternate back and forth. So it's like A, B, A, C, A, I mean, like, you know what I mean? I can't describe it to you. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a hill giant, but all I know is I used it. I just did A, B, A, C back and forth forever, and it did work for me. So I'll copy and paste the code, if you will, that Woox discovered in the description. But all right, the last new kind of clue that they added, I believe, is called a cipher. Now, I'll show one of these on screen because I did have to do one of these. I actually really hate these. I feel like they take forever. And they probably won't be as bad once everybody knows the locations. But when I did it last night, I was trying to figure out where the hell to go. And it took forever. But basically, what you have is a clue scroll. And it gives you 3 different hints. Now, it's not 3 hints to point you to one place. It's 3 different places. So what it is you need to figure out where to go, dig with a spade, and each one of the clues will give you a part of a clue scroll. So once you find all 3, you use the 3 pieces together, and then you will get a new step in the clue scroll. That's all of the new kinds of clue scrolls. It's anywhere from 5 to 8 steps, which is a little surprising to me, because if I recall correctly, elite clue scrolls are anywhere from like 9 to 12 steps. So master clues actually have less steps than elite clue scrolls, but I suppose that's fair considering the fact that the requirements are ridiculous. So while I'm talking about master clue scrolls, I feel like a lot of people might be wondering what the best way to go about getting a master clue is. So what I want to do while I'm here is explain to you how I get my clue scrolls, and pretty much the fastest way to get one of every kind of clue scroll. So as far as easy clue scrolls go, there is a couple methods you can do. You can, 1, pickpocket ham members in the ham hideout, which I believe is the fastest way to get easy clues, or you can kill thugs in the Edgeville dungeon in the wilderness with a Ring of Wealth imbued. A little side note, if you didn't know, Ring of Wealth imbued, if you wear that in the wilderness, it doubles your chance of getting a clue scroll drop. So either pickpocket ham members or kill thugs with the Ring of Wealth imbued. Next on to medium clue scrolls. There are 2 ways you can do this, but in all reality, there really is only one way you should do it. You can, 1, catch eclectic implings in Puro Puro, and that's the fast way. Or 2, you can kill guards in Falador. That used to be the way that people got medium clue scrolls, was killing guards in Falador. And you can still do it, but it is a lot slower than catching eclectic implings. Really quickly on screen, I'll show you how to get there. So what you need to do is, of course, have the Lost City quest completed, make your way to Puro Puro, and from there, you gotta go directly to the west. The way this method works is directly to the west of where you enter Puro Puro, there is a spot that an eclectic impling will spawn over and over and over. So you can basically force spawn it and catch it a ton of times. So I'm going to show you where to stand, and once you catch it, as long as you're quick with your clicks and stuff, you should be able to catch it over and over as soon as it pops up, as long as you just stand in this spot. Next on to hard clue scrolls. The fastest way to get a hard clue scroll as far as I'm concerned with absolutely no questions asked. This is crazy fast. What you want to do is kill hellhounds in the wilderness with a Ring of Wealth imbued. As I said earlier, Ring of Wealth imbued gives the double clue scroll drop rate in the wilderness, and hellhounds are already really good for hard clues, but if you double the drop rate, you get crazy, crazy hard clues. So I would definitely recommend that. Another idea that my chat gave me was killing the mutated jellies in the new Koren dungeon. Now this probably would be slower for hard clues, but because the new Skotizo boss is out, a lot of people have been wanting totem pieces, so I kind of considered doing that myself, killing those jellies to get totem pieces and hard clues. Just an idea. And lastly, on to elite clue scrolls. Now, elite clue scrolls are obviously the hardest thing to get out of this whole process. Elite clue scrolls, for the most part, are dropped only by high-level monsters, so it's really, really hard to decide where you're going to get it from. In my opinion, though, there are 3 best ways to get elite clue scrolls. One is Barrows. Now, Barrows is kind of slow. However, Barrows also has a 1 out of 33 drop rate on elite clue scrolls. So 1 out of every 33 chests you do, you should get an elite clue scroll. Now that's pretty good in my opinion, considering the fact if you have a trident and a blowpipe and the Arceus spellbook, Barrows telly and stuff, you can actually do Barrows really quickly. So that's what I've been doing to try and get elites, is Barrows. Number 2, I would say, is Zulrah. If I remember correctly, Zulrah has a 1 out of 75 drop rate. Let me actually check that real quick. Yep, I was correct. It is a 1 out of 75 drop rate on elite clue scrolls. Now, if you're really good at killing Zulrah, that probably is faster than Barrows, because I would say the average Barrows run definitely takes you longer than a Zulrah kill. So, while the drop rate on Barrows is 1 out of 33, you still kill Zulrah a lot faster. So, as long as you're good at killing Zulrah, the 1 out of 75 drop rate probably makes it one of the better options for sure. And the third and final way that probably is the slowest in all honesty is killing wilderness bosses, as in the 3 main bosses, with a Ring of Wealth imbued. We keep talking about the Ring of Wealth imbued, but I'm telling you, it's amazing for clue scrolls. So what you can do is either kill Venenatis or Callisto with a Ring of Wealth imbued, and they have a 1 out of 100 drop rate on elite clues normally, but if you have the ring on, that turns into a 1 out of 50 drop rate. Now, I'm not really familiar with kills per hour when it comes to Callisto or Venenatis, but I'm pretty sure if you're maxed and have a cannon and venge and all that stuff, you can get a lot of Venenatis kills per hour. So I would say with a Ring of Wealth imbued, Venenatis is another really good way to get elite clue scrolls. So that's pretty much that. There, of course, could be other methods that I'm missing, but I would say those methods that I mentioned for the easy, medium, hard, and elite clues are some of the best ways to get clues in the game. And once you have all these clues, you need to take them to Watson, who is located in the Hosidius House of Zaya. The fast way to get to him is to teleport to the Glade using Zarek's Talisman, and then he's in a building, like, directly to the west. You talk to him, tell him you have something for him, give him all the clues, and you will be ready to get started on your Master Clue Scroll. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like I said, Master Clues just came out yesterday, so there isn't a ton of useful information I can give you just yet as far as helpful tips and tricks, but hopefully you learned a little bit about Master Clue Scrolls. Again, I'm really, really hyped for this. Like, my overall thoughts on the update is that it's a good update. Clue Scrolls are always really, really fun. Like, some people hate Clue Scrolls, probably because they don't get lucky and they're salty, but in all seriousness, I think clues are one of my favorite parts of this game. There's just a funness to them because you never know what you're going to get, so I love the new Clue Scroll Awards. There's some very cool stuff. I mean, most of it is cosmetic. It can't be a gripe because, like, I don't want them to add really good shit that's purely luck-based on Clue Scrolls, but at the same time, it's unfortunate when they have so many cosmetics, like, outfits and stuff. Like, I would consider the ornament kits useful cosmetics, but all the other stuff is just Fashionscape, and I do love my Fashionscape, don't get me wrong. It's just like, I don't know, a lot of those Fashionscape Clue Awards end up being worth, like, absolutely no money in a matter of weeks after the update, so that's my only gripe, is a lot of stuff's probably gonna be worthless, but otherwise, it's an amazing update. Jagex has been fucking killing it lately. I can't keep up with the new content. They seriously are putting updates out faster than people can, like, deal with it. It's almost bad. They need to, like, slow down. For real, though, they're doing an amazing job over there at Jagex, so shout outs to them. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video today. Let me know what you think of Master Clue Scrolls down below in the comments. And let me know what you thought of this video. Like I mentioned earlier, I never, ever, like, make update videos. Like, I never make videos on, like, RuneScape updates, but I don't know. I kind of felt like making this video today, and if it's something you guys like, maybe I can do more in the future on future updates. Thank y'all for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit that like button down below, and I will see you all soon.